If you experience burning pain in your chest and it gets worse when you lie down, or you belch a lot and then you always feel bitter taste in your mouth, then it can be a sign of acid reflux, which usually occur when the stomach acid flows into the food pipe, irritating the place and causing discomfort. Now, let's quickly talk about some habits that usually leads to this heartburn and acid reflux. The first thing is when you eat late at night. When you eat at night, you are going to bed. You don't normally do any form of activity, and then that is also a risk for the food that you have eaten to flow back into the esophagus or the food pipe, and then causing the pain and the discomfort in your chest. Another thing is when you eat heavy meals, overeating is also a bad habit that can stretch the stomach muscles and then making the stomach acid to flow back into the food pipe and then causing discomfort. Another thing is when you wear tight clothing, like you tighten your belt, waistband and all of that can also increases pressure in the stomach and then causing the acid to flow back into the food pipe. Another habit is when you eat triggering foods like spicy food, fried food, citrus food and carbonated drinks. All these things, they can trigger heartburn. And then when you are obese, obesity is one of the things that also add pressure to the stomach muscles and then causing the stomach acid to flow back into the food pipe and then causing heart pain.
Do you know that the kinds of food that you eat can actually give you acid reflux? And that is why today I'll be sharing with you some foods that you can actually eat that can prevent heartburn and acid reflux. Let's look at the fiber food. Fiber food are stomach friendly and they also keep you fuller for a longer time and then preventing you from overeating, as overeating is one of the things that can cause acid reflux. Example of fiber food include vegetables, any kind of vegetables, they are rich in fiber, and then banana is also one of them, and oatmeal. So do what to include all this food in your diet if you want to prevent heartburn. Another one we'll be looking at is alkaline foods. These alkaline foods, they are like watery foods, and then they are also stomach friendly as they prevent heartburn. Examples of alkaline food includes ginger, milk, apple cider vinegar, apples, strawberries, blueberries. These food, they are very, very good in preventing heartburn. So please do what to include them in your diet, and then make sure that you avoid frying, as fried foods can also contribute to heartburn, and that's why you have to choose boiling or grilling instead of frying. You can boil or grill your potatoes, your plantain. Boiling all these foods are actually better than frying them. I'll be sharing with you some tips that can prevent heartburn and acid reflux. You need to make sure that you eat calmly and chew thoroughly, in a well-relaxed environment. This will allow for proper food digestion. So you need to take your time, eat your food thoroughly, chew it, and then swallow and drink a lot of water so that it will allow for proper digestion, and then it will prevent you from having heartburn. Another thing you need to pay attention to is staying upright after eating. You don't need to lie down immediately after eating, and then you have to ensure that you eat at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime so that you don't trigger the acid reflux. So make sure that you take note of these things, and then you need to also take note of your personal triggers food. There are some food that triggers heartburn, so you need to discover your own personal triggers and avoid them. This will actually help you a lot from having recurrent heartburn. And then if you are obese, make sure that you lose weight, maintain a healthy weight. Make sure that when you're ready to eat, don't eat too much, don't overeat. Eat a smaller quantity of food, and then maybe after 2 to 3 hours, you can eat another small meal, drink a lot of water. This will help you a lot in preventing acid reflux. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.